46 is brought to you by Dr. George Leeks, Pahrumps optometrist since 1990, offering full-spectrum eye care for children and adults. Call today, 727-8300. News is also brought to you by J.K. Nelson Law. Call 727-9900 today for your free consultation. If you need a lawyer, you need Nelson.
Tonight on News 46, a man is charged with murdering a child. A home is destroyed by fire. News 46 starts now.
You're watching KPVM News 46 with Deanna O'Donnell. News 46, local coverage you can count on.
Family members are mourning the death of a 3-year-old child. It's July 17th, 2017. I'm Deanna O'Donnell for News 46. 3-year-old Yesenia Camp was left at home Saturday with a person who police say turned out to be her alleged murderer. According to deputies, the suspect called his girlfriend to tell her that the child was not breathing. 38-year-old Cole Dwayne Ingleson has been arrested for domestic violence, child abuse with substantial bodily harm resulting in death, and open murder. According to the Nye County Sheriff's Office press release, on July 15th at approximately 7:11 in the evening, the Nye County Sheriff's Office received a 911 call regarding a child who had stopped breathing at a residence in the 5300 block of East Mans Road. Emergency personnel from Pahrump Valley Fire and Rescue were dispatched and upon arrival found a woman performing CPR on her 3-year-old child. In addition to being unresponsive and not breathing, the child suffered from multiple bruises and other injuries. Emergency personnel provided life-saving measures while transporting the child to Desert View Hospital, where emergency department staff tried desperately to save the child's life. The child was subsequently pronounced deceased as a result of the severe injuries. We spoke to Fire Chief Scott Lewis this morning.
We were initially dispatched for a report of a respiratory arrest and involving a 3-year-old female. The crews responded. They found scene dynamics were unsafe. They reported such and requested an immediate deputy response. And based on that initial report, it added an additional engine company and myself to the assignment. Upon arrival, found that they in fact were working a patient as described. That patient was transported to the local hospital, as my understanding was later pronounced.
You weren't able to get into the property right away?
There was some confusion as to what was occurring on the property. The crews made relatively quick access and gained quick patient care, but there were dynamics on the scene that were conducive to their safety, so they did a great job recognizing that, requesting help, and then getting out of the area as quickly as possible with the patient.
Nye County Sheriff's Office deputies and detectives responded to the residence and began a detailed investigation into the circumstances surrounding the child's grave condition. Detectives determined that Cole Ingleson is the boyfriend of the child's mother and had been alone with the child for some time prior to the child's death. Ingleson acknowledged his responsibility for the death of the child, however, provided very limited information to detectives with regard to his motive or mechanism. According to the declaration of arrest, Cole told police that he had been giving his girlfriend's daughter a bath and was drying her off when she became unresponsive. However, he changed his story to say that there was no bathtubs inside the house and that she was in fact in the shower. He also said that he was drying her off on the counter of the sink when she became limp. He told police that he had been drinking all day, according to the Nye County Sheriff's Office. The sheriff told detectives on scene that the victim's mother said that Cole was possibly on meth and that he is also an alcoholic. Ingleson was subsequently placed into custody and booked at the Nye County Sheriff's Office Detention Center. He is being held on a no-bail hold. Nye County Sheriff's Office detectives executed a search warrant at the residence and searched well into the early morning hours for evidence of exactly what occurred to this child. The Division of Child and Family Services was notified of the incident to take custody of other children living in the home and place them with alternative adult family members pending the outcome of the investigation. investigation. This investigation remains ongoing. The Clark County coroner has told News 46 that 3-year-old Yesenia Camp died from multiple blunt force trauma and was pronounced at approximately 8 p.m. on Saturday night. According to the mother's Facebook page, her and Cole Ingleson, who had a job as a disc jockey at a strip club in Las Vegas, had been dating since December of last year. His page says they began their relationship in May of this year. Ingelson's page is filled with photos of strippers from the club and pictures of him and his son, none of him and his girlfriend. Her page has since been taken down. There has been a GoFundMe page started the day after the child died. A close family friend contacted News 46 and said that the GoFundMe is for funeral expenses. One friend of Cole's, who is supporting him, says that the GoFundMe is for them, meaning Cole and his girlfriend, and said on Twitter that he messed up and he should say he's sorry. There was another GoFundMe account put up by a female relative on the father's side of the family in California who was asking for $25,000 and said she wanted to use it for law and education and talked about the child being raped. That page has since been taken down. And if you would like to do something to help out, you can contact the court-appointed special advocates CASA or No to Abuse here in Pahrump. Many locals are in disbelief over the death of 3-year-old Yesenia. Their emotions are ranging from sadness to rage. We ask, how can a parent protect their kids? What are some of the signs that someone you love could be hurting your child? News 46 spoke to child trauma specialist Janice Maddox this afternoon to get some insight.
Well, we're kind of designed to trust people and believe in people, especially if you feel an attraction to somebody, and people will see somebody with their children and think, oh, they're great with my kids, I'm so fortunate. But it really takes a long time to get to know somebody. I think it's important for people to not just believe they can judge someone's character by knowing them. A lot of times a child will come forth with an accusation that they've been abused, and people who knew the abuser will say, I know he didn't do that. I know this person. There's no way he would have done that. But they can be very likable.
What's some signs of child abuse?
Sometimes they will start acting out sexually. That's kind of a more obvious sign. Some of the less obvious signs are very young children, when they're sexually abused, tend to become very hyperactive. It's called psychomotor agitation. They just can't sit still. You'll see that. If a child is always asking to go with you and never wanting to be left alone with the person, but if they're regularly doing that, that can be something to wonder about. When they're in these situations, they're often told that if they say anything to their parent that's the non-abuser, that the parent won't believe them. So you'll see situations where somebody's kind of setting it up to see they lied again, and they're kind of putting in the other parent's head that this child's a liar, and then the child will experience that their other parent is seeing them as a liar, so it reinforces the perpetrator saying they'll never believe you if you tell. They get threatened. They get told that if they do tell, something awful will happen to the family, and children tend to feel responsible for things. Know that both men and women can be perpetrators. It's not as common for it to be a female, but that does happen. If you can, take the time to really get to know somebody before you allow them access to your children. If you're first meeting someone, let's say it's a dating relationship, put out to them that you don't let somebody be around your children until you've known them for a long time being at least a year. And it sounds callous, but my hope there, if you're the parent, is that they will move on and try with somebody else who's going to give them easier access. So I have worked with children who had tried multiple times to inform their parent they were being abused before they did tell, and it's so hard for them to get that out. It takes a lot of courage, and they went to tell their parent, and their parent happened to be busy, or just kind of brushed them off, as we do. If you can, just try to stop in those times and see what they want to say, because they might have something big to say. My number is 775-764-0606. I'd be happy to answer any other questions.
And a home is destroyed by fire Friday night on Simkins Road. We caught up with Fire Chief Scott Lewis to find out more.
Friday evening, we were dispatched for a report of a well-involved structure fire on East Simkins. Our crews arrived shortly after the assignment was made and found heavy fire showing at the rear of the property, moving through the interior space to the front. They commenced an interior attack, established a water supply at a nearby hydrant. They found that the building was an occupied structure. However, all the occupants were safely out of the dwelling, as well as were the pets.
Was there a delayed notification on this structure fire?
You know, it's unknown for sure. I think it wasn't necessarily a delay in notification. I just think it was more of a delay in discovery. They were inside. They didn't realize that there was a fire in the backyard until they went outside and then discovered that the rear portion of the house was on fire. The doors were left in a position that allowed that fire to extend directly from the rear of the structure right through the interior.
So how destroyed is the home?
It's clearly it's not it can no longer be occupied, and significant fire and heat damage, but the attached two-car garage was left intact. It was just the way we found it. So as crews commenced that interior attack, they were quickly able to knock down the main body of fire. Several of the firefighters fell through the floor in the early stages of the fire, giving indication that it had been burning for a little while.
And then the two vehicles in the driveway were also saved?
Yes, yeah, and there was no damage to those vehicles that were parked in the driveway.
Do you know how it started?
It's under investigation right now. It's not thought to be anything less than an accidental. However, the investigation is continuing.
An accident and an earthquake. We'll tell you all about it after this break.